Welcome to Motive of Matter, where neuroscience meets the criminal mind. This channel is dedicated to understanding the psychological and neurological elements that may contribute to extreme behavior. Today's episode examines the case of Fred West, one of Britain's most notorious killers. This video does not excuse or glorify his actions. Instead, we ask, what role, if any, did brain injury or psychological trauma play in his descent into violence? Fred West and his wife Rosemary were responsible for a series of heinous crimes in the 1970s and 80s, resulting in the deaths of at least 12 young women and girls, including family members. They were arrested in 1994 after decades of evading justice. While many true crime stories focus on the horrifying details of the crimes, we're taking a different route. We're focusing on Fred West's mind. Can understanding his brain help us understand his actions? And more importantly, could this knowledge help prevent future tragedies? Fred West was born in 1941 into a reportedly abusive household in rural Herefordshire, England. Accounts suggest his father was violent, and some reports allege sexual abuse in the home. He left school at 15 with limited literacy and no qualifications. But one of the most notable events in his early life occurred when he was 17. In 1958, West suffered a severe motorcycle crash that left him with a fractured skull, a broken arm, and a reported coma lasting a week. Friends and family claimed he was never quite the same after this. A few years later, he suffered another head injury after falling from a fire escape, losing consciousness again. Multiple head traumas in adolescence, especially those involving the frontal lobe, have been studied in connection with behavioral and personality changes. These injuries don't excuse violence, but they can impair impulse control, emotional regulation, and empathy. The human brain is fragile, especially the frontal lobe, which governs judgment, decision-making, and impulse control. In individuals who commit violent crimes, researchers have frequently observed abnormalities or injuries in this region. Dr. Jonathan Pincus, a neurologist who studied the brains of violent offenders, found a recurring pattern, a combination of childhood abuse, mental illness, and brain injury. Fred West appeared to check all three boxes. However, not everyone with a brain injury becomes violent. This isn't a direct cause and effect. It's a complex interplay of biology, environment, and psychology. Brain trauma might reduce the brakes on dangerous impulses, but it doesn't press the accelerator alone. As we explore this case, we must never lose sight of the victims. Their lives matter more than any theory or analysis. This video is not about sympathy for Fred West. It's about understanding how multiple risk factors, neurological and environmental, may combine to produce violent outcomes. If we want to prevent future violence, we must confront the science, not shy away from it. We must study the brain, not to excuse, but to intervene before it's too late. If this episode gave you a deeper understanding of the psychological and neurological layers behind extreme behavior, consider subscribing. Motive of Matter will continue exploring the mind behind the motive, with empathy, with ethics, and with evidence. New episodes every week. Thanks for watching, and stay curious.